What's up, everyone? Welcome to day two recap of the NFL free agency. We're going to try and run a lot of the stuff, just get straight to the point. I've been seeing random come up. Oh, that's wild about Le'Veon Bell. There's some things that I appreciate, like what I saw. Others, we'll kind of dive into it. The first one that just happened not too long ago before I logged on. Joey Bosa signed with the Buffalo Bills for $12.6 million. They get an edge rusher, which is solid. That's something that they did need. Chris Godwin, as you know, is going back to Tampa. We have DeAndre Hopkins signed a one-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens for $6 million. I'll give you my thoughts on that in the end when I go over the winners and losers of what happened. Overall, just kind of still going through it. The Raiders are adding more defensive help. Packers first-round pick Eric Stokes, 1 year, $4 million. Congrats. Again, I always talk about who the agents are. So this was Riza Hassam, Joey Bosa. I ain't seen nothing for him. You all know what the case is with DeAndre Hopkins. Demarcus Robinson is signing a 2-year deal worth 9.5 up to 9.5 mil. $6 million guaranteed, going to the 49ers. Just kind of running through a lot more. We do have the Giants are still kind of waiting to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Is he going to go to the Steelers? So you have the Steelers and you have the Giants, who are the two teams that are basically trying to figure out what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. Something else, compensatory picks. So the highlight of what I took from a lot of this, let me see, rounds. Yeah, okay. So the two main winners from it are Miami and Baltimore. I'm seeing Miami got a 3rd round compensatory pick, 4th round compensatory pick. They got a 7th round compensatory pick as well. And that's for different reasons. I'll explain in the end kind of what goes into the compensatory picks. What is this? Okay. The other one is the Ravens. They got a 4th round pick, they got a 5th round pick, and they got a 6th round pick. Chargers, I see at minimum 2 6 and a 7th. Yep. Minnesota got a 3rd. No one got 2/3. No one got 2/4. Dallas got a ton of 5th rounders. They got the 2 3. They got 3 3rd rounders, a 6th rounder. That's 4. So they got 4 over there. So those are solid ones that they have on their side. Some people ask, how do you end up getting compensatory picks? So it'll happen like if coaches left sign somewhere else, players left sign somewhere else. You can also get them. In Baltimore did this situation where they had, who is it before I forget? From Deontay Johnson. I think that's his name. I don't like butchering people's names. Deontay Johnson, if I'm positive. Yes, it was Deontay Johnson. He was on the Steelers. He ended up going to the Panthers. Panthers let him go. Panthers traded him. Went to the Ravens. Ravens released him. Got picked up by the Texans. Texans released him. Ravens got him back, so they got a compensatory pick out of that. That's another way how these different scenarios end up happening. These agents, not the agents, these GMs study the rules so much, and that's the only way you're able to figure out if you're going to get one or not. Next one we'll talk about is Daniel Jones going to Indianapolis Colts. This is Anthony Richardson's last shot. It sucks that it's already happening, but this is his last shot. If you can't beat out Daniel Jones, you're not a starting quarterback in the NFL. And Daniel Jones got paid. He didn't get a big contract, but first off, he had that fat contract that he signed that was not worth it. And then now he got a 1-year deal, 14 mil, 13.1 guaranteed. Imagine if you're the backup. He's going to come in there to be the starter, but imagine if you're the backup as well. Only in sports, as we always end up saying. The Panthers end up signing Brady Christensen to a 1-year, $2.7 million. Former Bills punter Sam Martin is signing with the Panthers, 1 year, 3 mil to kick. Sorry, to punt. Impressive. That one was done by Sean Kiernan of Athletes First. That's another agency. And then Brady Christensen was done by IHC Sports. So again, that's one of the goals. I do want to try and get some of these agents on, just kind of talk to them. I know they're busy, but we'll kind of see if we can pull one of them on the show. Chief standout Justin Reed is expected to sign with the Saints, 3 year, 31 million. And then we have the Falcons brought Leonard Floyd home, so Leonard Floyd signed with them. Congrats on that one. Cowboys, they did something. Cowboys are giving former first rounder Peyton Turner 1 year, 3 mil, 2 million guaranteed. First off, the Cowboys are just in a situation you can't fully explain. Also, Leonard Floyd got 1 year, 10 million. Congrats on that. I'm trying to find Juwan Johnson staying 3 year, 30 million. It's up to a max incentives, 34 million. He gets 21 guaranteed. So I'm impressed with that. They love the hometown, not the hometown guy, but they love the guy that was their own, and they're going to keep him there. So lock that one down. Puka Nacua is changing his number. If you remember, Devontae Adams, what number he had. So Puka's going to his number he had at BYU. So that's kind of another thing. Congrats on that one. Let's see if we can continue with this. What is it? Sorry, I'm looking at a video that Puka did when he was 17, going to 12 now. I mean, it's a good video. Impressive what some of these graphic designers and artists can end up doing. Another one that I want to bring up in a second. Let me see if I can find this other one. Yeah, he did go to BYU. Another one is Patrick Ricard is staying with the Ravens. That's not necessarily a big one. I mean, the Cowboys finalized a 3 year, $18 million deal with Kevontae Turpin. That's one. I'm really trying to look for. Texans agreed. So the Eagles did something that I'm going to get to in a second as well. Texans agreed to terms with Mario Edwards, 2 year, $9.5 million. Commanders agreed to terms with safety Will Harris, 2 year, $8 million, max value $10 million. Of course, that's incentives if anyone doesn't know that part. Charger standout Christian Fulton has agreed to terms with the Chiefs, 2 year, $20 million, upside to 20.5, 15 guaranteed. I don't give a damn about anything else. It's that guaranteed money. You're going to get 15 million guaranteed, and that was done by Athletes First, Todd France from Athletes First. I love that Rap Sheet puts all this out there. So thank you for that, Ian Rappaport. Riley Dixon is going to the Bucks for 2 years, $6 million. Again, money's money at that point. I'm really trying to look for the Chase Young one, but before that, Eagles are trading CJ Gardner-Johnson to the Texans in exchange for former first Kenyon Green plus a pick swap. So it's CJ and a 6th-rounder to Houston for Green and a 2026 5th-rounder. Big thing about all this is, again, it goes back to Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. You're putting all your eggs into them, which you're going young. Howie's going young every single place across the board on defense. You got your Georgia Bulldogs, first line, second line, then you're back. Secondary, you're going with the second year. No longer the rooks over there. So you have that one. Javon Hargrave is going to the Vikings. So congrats. I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring up. Yep. So they got Jonathan Allen and they got Javon Hargrave. And you know Flores is over there. They love these dudes that they're bringing in. Big contracts. They got the Giants are signing signing star safety Javon Holland to a 3-year deal. And then I already mentioned that Jonathan Allen is going to the Vikings. The Giants did that one for $45.3 million. And that was another Athletes First. So you can see Athletes First is doing it. Jonathan Allen's is 3 years, $60 million. And that deal was done by Team IFA. I honestly, Ian Rappaport, thank you, 0.7. And then we already mentioned Byron Murphy. Last one is Chase Young is stand to 51 million. Comes on that up to 56. Come on, man. Congratulations on that. So that's the main things I wanted to bring up. Also, other thing, I think I said this the other day, Najee Harris is going to the Chargers. Now I got that out the way. The first thing I want to talk about is the Vikings. They're stacking that D line. They're seeing where they need to end up having more help. They're going at that. Other thing is the Eagles. You have to figure out if you can end up saving money and not necessarily having to go that route when it comes to paying out everyone. So if you can pull a Chiefs and not have to pay so much money, but yet keep that core together and they do just as well, congrats. Your bets, they get their money from a different team. So it seems like a win-win on that side. Other one is the Texans are losing certain pieces. So I do want to see if they can end up picking up the slack on the back end from it. So that's something else. And my final takeaway is with the Baltimore Ravens. So the Baltimore Ravens brought in DeAndre Hopkins. He's not going to be what he was in Houston, but if he can be even 30, and I said this online, if he can be 30 to 40% of the player that he was, the Ravens have a good red zone target. They, in my opinion, I don't think they need to continue to focus on Mark Andrews. You need to make it Isaiah Likely. You can now move Zay Flowers more, keep him in the slot. You have Hopkins on one side, Rashad Bateman, although I don't trust him as your number two. You have Bateman on the other side. I really think they need to draft someone strong in the draft. You got to go wide receiver. Running back's good. Quarterback's good. Get a solid number two, almost premier number one receiver in this draft. Put him on the other side of Hopkins. Let Zay be in the middle and let those three work. That's really what I think you need to end up doing. And then focus on defense too. For starters, your secondary is not as good as people want to go claim it is. Like, I don't know really what is going on, but you need to draft a lot there. Clearly, you're not making signings right now, so you have to go in the draft. Although, yeah, you have these all pros. I don't necessarily think they're the answer right now. Get some in the draft, sign some vets. Not right now. Of course, you're going to do cuts in August when the preseason's over. Those cuts, use that to end up picking up some vets too. Post June 1st, cuts will happen as well. So that's another point in time where that'll kind of be. Again, two quiet teams we have seen are the Bengals and the Cowboys. Cowboys just always have money tied up. Bengals, we don't really know what they're going to do. Of course, they have to pay Trey Hendrickson, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. So how are you going to end up spreading that money around there? But that's all that I really have for today. Just wanted to make a short, sweet, to the point, give you guys what happened on day 2. Steven should be with me, and we'll talk about day 3. But until then, we out.